What's going on, sports fans? This your boy Randy with BoxingAndBasketball.com. And I got my guest today from all the way from Colorado Springs, Mike. What's going on, Mike?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. Thank you for tuning in today, man. We got some things we gotta discuss, man, mainly with the NBA, Chief. So I really wanna talk about what the rest of the season is gonna look like. I want to know who's going to enter into the playoffs, and I want to know who's going to be, the MVP for the regular season, man. So, hopefully we can get into that. I got an important question I do want to ask you, man, before we even get started on it, man.
Okay.
So, being that you were a barber, right, one of your professions,
Right.
Jalen Rose recently went live and stated that uh, professional barber or someone who gets their haircut from a barber should pay at least $100 for a cut. And I just want to get your take on it, man. On average, how much do you normally charge for a haircut?
So when you're talking about how much you charge for a haircut, it really depends on geographically where you're at. You
Okay.
know, New York is going to be different than Louisiana. Louisiana is going to be different than California, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
So I can easily say, let's say Texas, you're gonna pay, $30. Now, if you're in a military town, you're gonna pay probably $25. But the cheapest you'll find a barber as a grown man is $30.
Right.
Is that asking too much? I don't think so. But $100, it's a little steep, dog, especially with the inflation, the economy, how it's been going. And my thing is, if someone asks me, have you ever paid $100 for a haircut before? And the answer would be yeah. Yeah.
So
Uh,
so let me ask you this, because when you say you paid $100 for the cut, what all
mhm.
did that entail? Was it just for like a cut and the edge up, or did you get like a shape up, your beard shaped up, or like what all did you get for that $100, or was that $100 mostly tip?
So what I received from that, I got the haircut, which was, man, she went in. It was well blended all the way through, crispy lineup, no dye, no hair fibers, straight crispy lineup, and the goatee was on point, man. She put me in the game. She took her time. I mean, it was an awesome cut, and the cut lasted me a lot longer than an average cut would. To be
Gotcha.
honest with you, now you got to think this is my wedding cut, so I didn't
Okay.
get I didn't get married the next day. I got married like 3 to 4 days later, and my cut
So
was still fresh.
so it had to be a special cut. So I get that. I understand that, man.
Right, right.
Well, okay, man. Well, I'm
Let me
glad you
ask you. Let,
so
let me ask
uh-huh.
you this, not to
Yeah.
cut it short. What was the most you ever paid for a haircut?
Uh, Probably $30. I think when I was in Atlanta, I paid
Okay.
$30 for a cut, and I think I tipped the barber maybe $10 or so.
Okay.
So it maybe came up to about $40. But when Jalen Rose said, on average you should pay $100 for a haircut, I was like, come on, man, like that's too much for a cut. Too much.
Well,
I mean, now I've heard of some barbers at the most charging $50 for a cut. And I think that included, a edge of a beard shape up or something,
well, you
along with
gotta
a haircut.
you gotta look at what are they doing. You got
Mhm.
some barbers. I had a chance to work with a barber from Wisconsin. His wife was military, so he was at the shop I was at in Killeen. And this brother would not cut your hair unless he was able to wash it. So he gave you the full treatment, the wash, the razor, the shave, whatever, and but he charged a pretty penny,
Right, right.
and I feel like it's worth it. And I'm sorry, like, I mean, $100 is $100. You can't tell people where to spend their money, but I do know as Americans we do spend our money on a lot of stuff that's not even necessary.
Right.
you know.
I got you,
So
man. Well, that's cool, man. I'm glad to get some insight on that, though, man. But hey, man, let's jump into this basketball thing, man. I know we got a lot to talk about. Um, so right now we just had we pretty much at the midpoint, right? All
right.
Star weekend just passed. A few players moved around, and teams have improved. Some just
Some.
not looking too good, man. So,
Some.
yeah. So, I mean, with that being said, man, I know most people are expecting, the Bucks to get back into the championship run, but I don't know, man. It's not really from where I stand. I don't know if it's going to happen, especially with teams like Phoenix Sun, man, who's been doing their thing all season. Uh,
Mhm.
Boston Celtics, of course, they've been bringing it, but who do you think, man? Who do you expect to see in the playoffs this year?
Um, so Boston is a shoe in. I'm gonna be honest with you. Coming from the East, I I really can't see anyone making them go to Game 7. So they're definitely coming out the East. Um, as far as on the West, oh man, you got your Golden State, you got your Bucks, you got your Phoenix now, who's got KD, which was a big trade. Um, man,
So, but
it
let's
depends on that chemistry. Like you
yeah.
gotta have that chemistry, and we don't know if they have it yet.
Right.
Denver's looking good too. So I mean, it's
So,
just it's
man, so you okay? So going back to the Eastern Conference, right? Because you touched on
right,
Boston.
right.
So Jason Tatum, which I feel like has been carrying Boston Celtics, man. I feel like points wise, no one else is producing as much as he is. You got defensively, everyone is playing a role. Then they have a nice bench, but I think Jason Tatum needs some help on the scoring part. Man. I
Uh
just don't really see them taking it all. I think Boston is going to show up in the postseason, but to say they're going to make it to the championship, I don't know. I
I
don't know.
mean, they say defense wins championships, man. So you got players like Smart, man. He's that guy, man. And I'm not even a big fan of his, but I mean, game recognized game, man. He's been stepping it up. He's gonna get you that 12 to 15 points on a good night. The thing is with Tatum, he has a lot of role players. A lot of these guys don't get the recognition that they deserve, but he's not doing it by himself. Now, but I will tell you this: he does know how to take a game over. So when
Yeah,
it's crunch time, listen, you know who got the ball. You know
yeah,
who got the ball. So
yeah.
it's just a matter of what what are you going to do to stop him? This guy, he's young, smart, financially smart. I mean, the list goes on and on. He came from a good program. Uh, man, he's the real McCoy, dog.
We got Sean. He in the comments. He said Jalen and Marcus is helping with scores. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're contribute. They're definitely contributing, man. But if you look at throughout the season, who's been the leading scorer for the Boston Celtics? Jason Tatum. So if his game is off, then where does that lead them score wise? Yeah, they still producing, turnovers and stuff, but as far as putting you know, points on the board, man, like they solely rely on him to lead the team in scoring.
well, he is the leader. He's just that. Um, but he that's his job, dog. His job is to really score. That's really his job, and he does it well. But I don't think they're gonna have too much of a competition
Okay,
until they
so
hit.
check this. We
Mm-hmm.
talking East, top five teams. Celtics, right? Who you
Mm-hmm.
got? Milwaukee Bucks, right?
Right.
So they are what 41-17. Celtics 42-17. So they pretty much have the same, win ratio. Then
What
you
about
have
Philly?
Philadelphia 76. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then you also have Cavaliers and the Nets. Now, Cavaliers, they're still a young team. I don't really see them going all the way to the conference championship or conference finals.
Mm-hmm.
But they're gonna be held, man, coming out of the East. Because they making noise right now, especially with Donovan Mitchell. You have your boy, what's his name, Garland. Um,
Kevin
I
Love's still
mean,
there.
yeah, Kevin Love actually he just got traded, I believe. I think they sent him to Miami Heat.
Oh goodness, I'm
Yeah.
behind.
So
Whew.
so Kevin Love is Miami. They sent him Miami Heat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think who else the Celtics have, man. But no, they're definitely making noise, man. And lately, man, they've been killing. They really been killing it, man. They got Karis LeVert. So they've been doing pretty good, man. They really have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just feel I like Philadelphia because I love their style of play. But man, every year they come up short. Embiid, I mean, those big games, man, it's like you're just looking for him. Like, when is he gonna step up? Uh, but he'll get you your double night in, night out. But it's just some games you just gotta do a little more. That's how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, no, I understand it, man. So for Philly, you have Joel Embiid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else is coming out of Philly? Now let me ask you this, because from my understanding, James Harden is still with Philly.
Really?
Yeah, so he hasn't been trying. I know there were talks about him going to Houston, but from my understanding, he is still on their roster.
So what I was told, he was supposed to be going to Golden State.
Okay.
I'll check my sources on that. But
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to go to Golden State, man. But I just don't see him meshing well with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Clay.
I mean,
I just don't. I don't know, man.
at the end of the day, it's only one ball on the court, dog. It's
Right,
only
but
one ball
then
on the court. You got too many shooters. Like
right,
somebody's gonna be coming to the huddle real pissed.
right, right,
You know,
right.
that's gonna create a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, and they're all big name guys. But it was
Correct.
talk for him to go to Golden State, which I just don't think would have been a good look for him.
Right.
You know who I would have loved to see, where I would have loved to see him go?
Where?
And it might be a little hypocritical knowing that I'm from Louisiana. The Pelicans.
Ah.
Just
So why? Why do you think, man? Because Sean, he said Harden is old. Yeah, man. He's not. The Harden he was 6-7 years ago, man.
he was a beast, man.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was a
yeah.
beast. But everybody's got their time clock, Maybe it's just time. It's time's up.
Yeah, that's true, man. I just for Harden, I can't really say I see him anywhere else. Like where though, you know. But if he's with Philly, man, Philly is killing it right now, man. 38-19. Like, come
Yeah.
on, man. So okay, we talked about what's coming out of the East. What about the West? Because we got the Nuggets, Denver Nuggets, right?
All
They're
right.
killing it right now. Then you have you got the Grizzlies, John Morant.
All
Them
right.
guys, they doing it. Can't forget about Sacramento Kings.
Oh, Sack just a few pieces away, man.
So you think they're not full? They still need some people.
Yeah, Sack. I guess it's just that name, dog. Like they haven't been a force to be reckoned with since the Weber days. The Chris Webber, the Jason Williams, those days. They were
I don't
then they
know, man.
was Lottie V-Bach. I mean, we're talking way back then, dog.
Man, you went way back, dog.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, but Sac they got a squad though, man. Like them guys, they be balling, man. I just don't think they I think they'll do something in the playoffs, but I don't think they have enough to make it, to the conference finals. So for me, and I think you mentioned this earlier, man, Phoenix Sun, they're coming out of the West. And I think with the KD edition, man, I think they're gonna kill it. Sean Stay, he said, yeah, De'Aaron Fox with Sacramento Kings went to KD High School. I didn't know that, Sean. That's interesting, man. I didn't even know that, man. He went to KD High School. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So right here in Houston.
Right. It's a small world, man.
Yeah, man. So that's crazy. But for the West, man, you got the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and you got Phoenix Sun. Now the Clippers, Joel Embiid, man, he's doing his thing. But I think with Phoenix Sun, like you said, with Kevin Durant. But let me ask you though. So with Kevin Durant, I think he's supposed to play this tomorrow, actually, or either tonight or tomorrow. He's supposed to make his debut. What do you think he's gonna do, man? Do you think he's gonna mesh well with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, or how you think that's gonna work, man?
To be honest with you, Chris Paul is not a ball hog at all. So now Booker's not much of a ball hog either. They want to win, dog. These dudes want to win. They don't care about having the ball no more. They really at that point in their career where they solidified to where it's, Chris Paul's gonna go down, as a great point guard. I ain't gonna say the best, but he's gonna go down as a great point guard. And on top of that, you got Booker. I mean, he's young. He's just ready to win, man. He's been missing a lot of pieces. He picked up Chris Paul. They got a chance to go to the finals. Came up short. They just need that one piece. And you already know Durant's going to give him 20 and 10 every night. Yeah. Easily 20 and 10. So 20 and 10, at least 2 blocks. So you can count on that. I mean that's just who he is.
Yeah, and they killing it in rebounds. You got DeAndre Ayton, who's, he's going to get you the offensive rebounds that you need. He's going to get you the defensive rebounds. You got Chris Paul with the assist, and he's putting up numbers and scoring as well as Devin Booker. And so if you got Chris Paul facilitating the ball on the floor, man, all he got to do is get it to Kevin Durant, and he's going to put up numbers.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The only thing I'm concerned with is Are you still there?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened, man. But so the thing that I'm gonna say is for some reason, man, when it's time to get into championship mode, I feel like Chris Paul doesn't always bring it. I feel like when it's time to really show up in that championship time, I feel like Chris Paul doesn't really do what he's supposed to do. But I will say is with Kevin Durant on the team, maybe he doesn't feel like he would have to carry the load on his own. Maybe Chris Paul will feel like he can, rely more on Kevin Durant or maybe more on Devin Booker. But I'm just going off of Chris Paul's past history and, how things have been when he's finally made to a level. But I really want to see him get a ring, man. I think he deserves it. He's put in the work. I've been following Chris Paul ever since he was with New Orleans, man. And I always felt like every team he played on, he made them better, But
yeah,
Sean said Chris Paul always hurt doing game 4 or 5. Yeah, hey, man. No, man, Chris Paul be playing his butt off, man.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's a good player. I felt like he showed up last year, just came up short. So man, we got somebody in the comments saying John Moran is the future.
I'm not a John Morant fan, man. At all,
um,
bro.
I I'm not a big fan of really like cocky players who haven't did anything.
Yeah.
Um, he entitled players. Let me say that players feel like they're entitled. Uh, it's just a lot. I think John Morant personal life is going to be his downfall.
You
As
think so?
far it's, it's just a lot of the stuff he has going on outside of basketball.
Okay.
And that's just my personal opinion. Hey, listen, I don't know the brother, but every time I'm watching something that's dealing with him, it's something going on in his personal life. Like Shannon Sharp said, dog, you're not a gangster.
Right. Right.
leave that life for people who grew up in that. You grew up with your mom, your dad in the household. You have a good family. Hey man, it's being a gangster ain't for everybody, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or trying to portray that image. Be yourself, but that ain't really, don't try to be something you're really not.
Right. No, I
But
get that. Yeah.
but
That's
yeah, but I'll say this, Memphis look good too. That's somebody
they
we
do.
didn't that's somebody we didn't talk about. Now, can I see them beating Boston? Nah. It'll be a good series though. It'll be a
I
series I would watch. I would definitely watch that. And I could see it for sure going to game six.
so
But
check this out. Check this
mhm.
out because we talking about Western Conference with Memphis, right? So Memphis has to get past. Um, they got to get past Golden State. You get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
they play Golden. We didn't even talk about Golden State yet. Golden State always shows up for the conference finals. So what do you think they're gonna do?
Golden State is like the quiet samurai.
Yeah, yeah,
They're the quiet
yeah,
samurai, man.
yeah.
Listen, with Golden State, I can honestly see Golden State just game six, next round. Game six, done. Next thing you know, they're in the Western Conference Finals, and they're like, "Damn, how'd they get here? Like they've
Right.
been here. This is nothing new to them. That pressure is nothing to them. They know what it's like to play in the big games. When you got somebody who's been playing in big games, they don't get nervous. Right? All that stuff is like, yo, it's just another game. Let's get it. They've been playing with each other for so long. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and that's the
I
best.
mean, they're a championship caliber team, man. You
Oh
know, they've
yeah,
been there so many times, bro. So they know exactly what they need to do to get there. You know, and when they're there, man, they show up, bro. You know,
bro.
but I feel like the fate of Golden State is gonna rely on Stephen Curry. If he shows up and he do what he normally he does most playoff games, they're gonna make it to the finals. You know,
Uh,
but the West is shaky right now because you got LA Clippers, you got Golden State Warriors, and then we still got to touch on Los Angeles Lakers.
do you see
Lakers
them
did
making
a
it?
so they look good. They played against my team, the Pelicans, right? They
Mm-hmm.
played a Zion Williamson list Pelicans. So I can't, and then they played them at home. So I mean, yeah, the Pelicans have. I wouldn't say they're an actual team I would want to grade the Lakers on, but against. But I would say I want to see what they do in the next few games, man, to kind of make a determination if they're gonna actually make it, advance in the playoffs. Because right now, man, they like what number 7 and number 8 in the West. So they really need to step it up, bro. They really got the win out, you know.
Well, the thing is, the Lakers do not want to be number 8 because, as you know, the number 8 seed plays number 1 seed, and it's not going to be good for them.
Yeah.
Um, I just can't see the Lakers doing it because one, they got all their money and into two players.
Okay.
One is a little long by the two. but he's still going to bring it. He's going to get you a double-double just about every night. And that's LeBron James, King James. But that Anthony Davis, man, I mean, you blow too hard. Listen, he's out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, Mr. Glass,
He's
man.
he's injury prone.
Listen,
He's a great player, dog. He's great. He's a great
yeah,
player, but he
yeah,
is injury prone. If you
yeah.
blow too hard, it's he might tear something.
So let me ask you, with LeBron doing what LeBron does every night,
Mm-hmm.
with a healthy Anthony Davis, D'Angelo Russell, who else do you Lakers have? Um, what do you think they're going to do? Like, what do you feel? What do you can they advance to the finals with the team that they have now? With what you've seen so far, how would you assess that team?
Healthy Anthony Davis,
Right.
I could see him going to the Western Conference Finals. I could see that if a healthy Anthony Davis, but the thing is, when you're talking about basketball, man, you gotta be able to gel, and that chemistry has got to be on point. And that's what it's all about. It's not all about the best players. We've seen teams who are loaded with great players and who finish second or finish fourth. It's just that chemistry, man. Because when you know who you're playing with and you know their strengths and weaknesses, guess what? If I know you're weak in the box, I'm not gonna sit there and throw you the ball when I know that's your weakest area. Or if you're not a strong three-point shooter, I'm not about to throw you no ball on the three-point line.
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
You gotta know who you're playing with. And also they gotta be able to motivate you just like you gotta be able to motivate them. So it's a lot more to it than just big names, man.
right. No, I get it, man.
And they
That's
gotta
good.
check their ego at the door, dog. And and do it for the team. This is a team sport.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So
Yeah. So you got the Lakers. So I know I touched on it. I'm gonna jump to my team that I root for, man. Pelicans, right? So
mhm.
I gotta ask you, man, like, cause the Pelicans for a while, even without Zion, man, they've been doing it up. Um, but I've seen some inconsistencies with CJ McCollum. Brandon Ingram has pretty much been doing his thing. And the bench, man, from time to time, they tend to show up. But what do you think with a healthy Zion? What do you think Pelicans can do? Man? Have you been following them?
Somewhat. Not as much as I want to. I'm gonna be honest with
Okay.
you. But I will say this. For the Pelicans to get Zion like they did, I really think you might disagree with me. I think it was the worst thing for New Orleans because y'all put all y'all eggs, well, not y'all, we put all our eggs in one basket. So knowing that he's injury prone too, he gets injuries here and there, and these last year or two he has some weight issues.
Right, right,
He's a big boy. So my thing is, we just put too many eggs in one basket. With that one pick, you could have easily received three 3 to 4 years of first round picks from another team. That would have really helped the program. When you put all your eggs in one basket to somebody who's not proven, yeah, he did his thing in high school in South Carolina. He did his thing. Won 4 state championships. Okay, cool. That's high school. You know, college, he came to Duke, did his thing. Now, did they go to the, national championship? No, they didn't. They fell way short. that
Right.
year. And the thing is, that's goes back to everything I was saying about chemistry. That's why you have teams like the Gonzagas, the Villanovas, the Kentuckys when they don't have the ego issues going on. You see what I'm saying? These are teams that consistently, and the Kansas, they consistently make it to the Final Four because of that issue, chemistry. They,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
I
know,
get that. Definitely. Most definitely.
so
So with him being out, right, and with the team where it's at, do you think they have a chance of making it to the postseason right now?
I think they could. It's got to turn it. People got to step up. These role players got to be step up, and be consistent.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of NBA players are, to some degree, they're more worried about how much the guy next to him is getting paid than saying, "Listen, let me just go in that Mamba mentality mode and work on my game, and let me take it, step up from scoring 5 points, averaging 5 points a game. Let me give him 15 now. Let me demand the ball, but not just demand it. Let me get some buckets, man,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
get buckets, but hey, let me get 2 or 3 steals. When you start, coming with these, numbers like that, and it's a consistent, not a, I feel good today type of deal. Listen, you can do some things because Brandon and them need some help, and Zion is not that
True.
is not going to be there to do it.
True. 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 No, I get that, man. I definitely get you on that. So going back to what we're talking, Eastern Conference, Western Conference, finals. Who's gonna make it to the finals from the East? Who are you rolling with? Who is your go-to team from the East? Out of the Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks, Philadelphia 76ers, Cleveland Cavaliers, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Nets in there. But I without KD, Nets, Brooklyn's not doing anything, man. So I'm gonna just say, to me, Celtics. It's gonna either be either Celtics, Bucks, or it's gonna probably be 76ers coming
So
out of the
let
East.
so with me, no doubt, I got my money out on Boston. Um, that's Boston's a shoe in. Uh, like it's really no competition when it comes to God. Whoever they play, Game 6 is done. They will not see Game 7.
Okay, okay.
They will not. Game 7 will not exist on the East for the Eastern Conference Finals.
I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I think Giannis is looking to go back to the championship. Um, you got Middleton. You got who else? You got that's producing Chris Middleton. You got who else? Is it Jay Crowder? They got
Mm-hmm.
so Jack Crowder. So I'm gonna say the Bucks, man, and also too, man, even for Celtics, bro, because Al Horford, man, he's kind of if you're talking about injury prone, that's that big man, so he has to show up, he has to be healthy in order for them to really go out there and make it to the finals. So I'm gonna take the Bucks for the Eastern Conference.
I will say this. Al Horford is a little long by the tooth. He's been in the league for a while. You know, he played in Florida. I want to say he got 2 national championships with them.
Yeah.
Uh, he's been in Atlanta forever. He was there for a while before he got traded to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, the playoffs is either going to make you or break you. It's going to be some guys that really step up, some guys you never heard of. You know, I think one of the I got to go back for this one, but somebody who really stepped up when they got a chance. uh, Lynn Sanity and Jeremy Lin
Wow,
when
I
he
haven't
got
heard that name in a minute. Yeah.
yeah when he got that opportunity, man, this dude was bouncing back and forth from the G League, 10-day contract here, 10-day contract there. But when he got the opportunity,
He
and
showed up.
he showed up and he showed out, and that's all it takes, man. But the thing is, these guys got to put that work in, and I mean, let's be honest, man. I mean, when you get that first contract and you see that money, you're not the same. Money changes a lot of people. You're not the same. When these guys come out of college knowing that you was eating oodles and noodles, top ramen, this and that, and now you're eating steak and lobster, you're getting invited to the finest parties. It's hard to stay humble,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
You done bought your mama a house, you bought your daddy a truck, no one can tell you nothing, you know, you gotta check that ego, man. So, but someone will step up though from Boston. So no worries. You got some cats that's gonna step up for Boston.
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm gonna see, man. Like I said, man, if Middleton, they're supposed to move Chris Middleton to the starting line right now. He's coming off the bench, but if he gets healthy and they move him into the starting line, because right now who they got? Brook Lopez, Giannis, Grayson Allen, uh, Javon Carter, and Drew Holiday. I mean, they killing it now, man. So if they can get Chris Middleton back in there healthy by the time playoffs start, Boston is gonna have hell, man. Like it's gonna be hell. It's I'm just telling you, man. Um, so you say Boston Celt. I mean, yeah, you say Boston Celtics. I say Milwaukee Bucks. All
okay.
right. So that take care of the East. We're going to the West. What's your prediction? Who do you think is going to make it to the finals?
Oh, Wes.
And one other thing we didn't touch on is LA Clippers. You got two men who've been in championship finals a few times: Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Uh I I I'm gonna be honest with you. The Clippers, no. Clippers
You know,
will make it deep in the playoffs, but they won't see the finals.
okay,
Um, the, I I really want to say Phoenix, but it depends on that chemistry. Like I said many times before on air, you know, with the chemistry is everything, dog. And you got some big name guys on here, so it's just a matter of if anyone's going to check their ego and just be willing to take it for the team.
yeah, I get that. So you said he so would because you can't count LeBron out. He's still known to produce. Then you also got the Nuggets, man. Like you can't count out the Nuggets have been killing it. That's their record is 41-18 right now.
So with the Nuggets, man, you're right. You got their centers coming off an MVP year, and this guy's man, he's that dude. I I haven't got a chance to see him play up close and personal, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. You know, so I'm not going to count the Nuggets out. I just think they lack the experience. I'm gonna say that. I'll sum it up with that.
Okay, okay. I think at first I said Golden State was gonna show up. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna make it to the finals. I think with Phoenix in play, with Kevin Durant joining the team, I think it's gonna probably be between them. Then when I say them, Golden State or Phoenix Suns. So my prediction is going to be out of the West, Phoenix Suns. So that's just me. I think with Chris Paul and Devin Booker already making moves and they got Aiden on the floor, creating boards and rebounds, offensive and defensive rebounds, and you add KD to the equation, it's gonna be a nasty team, bro.
Yeah.
Defensively and offensively. So that's my take. So we'll see, man. But the closer we get to the postseason, we'll see things unravel, and you know, I'm hoping that I'm sure we're somewhere close to what it's gonna be.
Yeah, stars. That's when the stars come out.
Yeah,
That's when
yeah,
the stars come out.
for
These
sure.
regular season games. It's these guys' minds are in a different place. But when playoff time comes, it's a whole different ball game. Look at the amount of points that scored during the regular season compared to the playoffs.
Yeah,
And it's one of those things right now that's a big topic that they're talking about a lot of NBA players, how they're these big injuries compared to they did a report back in the 90s. How many players played 82 games compared to how many players are playing 82 games now.
oh yeah,
You
you're
know,
talking about load management. Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's a topic for a different night, man. Because I definitely want to talk. Yeah, I don't even want to get into load management, man. Yeah,
It
you're
is
gonna
hard.
start. You're gonna start seeing beads of sweat just rolling down my forehead, man. Because ah, I hate load management, man. But that's
but could
crazy,
you
man. But
could you imagine that though? Could you imagine spending half of your paycheck to get great seats to see? Let's just throw a big name out there. Let's say LeBron James, and it's load management. See what I'm saying?
yeah,
That would tick me off. That would
yeah,
have it to where like, yo, listen, let me get my money back.
yeah.
You
But
know,
I think more fans should start doing that, man. I really do believe they should demand their money back because if I come to see the star of the team play, then I that's what I should get. You shouldn't be able to pick and choose which game you play if you're healthy. You know.
I have one sports regret, and that's not being able to see Michael Jordan play up close and personal.
Oh man, I don't think I made it to a NBA basketball game in the '90s. Only thing close to the NBA was Harlem Globetrotters. That was
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
man. And a few college basketball games, but
Yeah, I got to see some LSU games, but other than that,
yeah.
no.
So before we close out, man, I want to get your take on league MVP. Who do you think is gonna get it? Who
For the NBA,
NBA most valuable player?
oh, ooh, that's a good one.
You
I
got
gotta I gotta go with Brother Light Skin, man. Brother
who?
Light
Brother light
Skin.
skin
Yeah, Tatum, man.
Tatum.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
got it.
so I mean, with you know, because I hear what you're saying with Tatum. He's definitely been producing. Again, goes back to what I said earlier about him carrying Boston Celtics as far as scoring goes. So yeah, on that aspect. But what does he look on the defensive side?
So, now he does play defense. Now is he all defensive NBA? First team all defense. Yeah. But he's gonna get you a few steals here and there. So, you said MVP. So I'm looking at scoring, I'm looking at rebounding, leading his team, carrying his team, and some defensive plays here and there when they need it. So listen, hey, like I say, brother light skin, I think he got it.
So I was stuck between two, but I'm leaning more towards one than the other. So Giannis and Embiid. I say Embiid because he was up for MVP last year. He didn't make it, but his numbers are slightly better this year than they were last year,
Mhm.
right? And so for a big man, and I jotted down a few things for a big man to have a field goal percentage of 53% throughout the season, averaging 4.1 assists per game, rebounding 10.2 rebounds per game, and 1.5 steals per game. Like and on top of that, dude putting up 33 points on average a night. So I mean, honestly, Giannis' number isn't even close to what Joel Embiid is doing, especially on the defense side. They're not far from it, but to me, I think if they should give it to someone, it should be Joel Embiid.
Uh, now I will say this. I'm biased when it comes to Joel Embiid. I really am. And I stopped watching him because of that. I haven't watched him play in over like 2 years now. He's a crybaby. He does a lot of whining. Now maybe he's gotten better with that. He's a big guy. He's 7 foot tall. He's naturally gifted. He played at Kansas, great program. You know, was drafted really high. But no, Giannis. If Tatum can't get it, Giannis deserves it. Giannis has been playing lights out for the last, oh goodness, at least 4 years, last 4 to 5 years.
Yeah,
So I can see Giannis.
I can see Giannis getting it, but I think to get because Joel Embiid's numbers have improved from last year, I see them giving it to him. For Giannis, and I kind of glanced over his numbers. He pretty much remained consistent. I think maybe in assists and blocks, his average went down some this year. So I think with Embiid getting a slight increase in damn near everything, and Giannis getting a slight decrease in on his defense, I think they're probably going to give it to Joel Embiid. I could be wrong, but and man, he's been playing his heart out, man. He really has, and for him, for the 76ers to be where they are now, bro, I have to contribute that to my brother. I don't see no one else really stepping up the way that he has. You know,
Yeah,
so I feel like the in order for them to make it in the postseason, he has to produce, and if he doesn't show up, they're not gonna they're not gonna advance. Man. So that's who I'm going for as far as MVP goes. So
okay.
yeah, but hey man, it's been real. I appreciate you jumping on and chatting it up with me, man. We gotta do this soon, brother. I know you like to talk about football and who's coming out of NCAA D1 and D2. So we're gonna have to do that. I heard you because I remember we discussed earlier about who is the best cornerback uh, in the NFL or all time cornerback, and you said Deion Sanders.
So when you say so many people use this term, the GOAT, the greatest of all times. It's
Okay.
used too loosely. Everybody wants to say this person's the GOAT. No, this person is, which we're all entitled to our opinion, and I truly agree to that. But it's like calling everyone your friend. Everyone is not your friend, you know. So with that being said, I gotta say Deion Sanders is the GOAT. When it comes to the cornerback position, he changed the game. Literally changed the game. Quarterbacks did not throw to his side when he was in the game. When you have a person that's shutting down the entire side of the field, one man, it's a problem. He's a problem.
Okay.
So now I will say, if you had to say, well, what's your top three cornerbacks? I gotta say Deion Sanders, Darrell Revis. And it's man, I would probably it's between Charles Woodson and Rod Woodson. No relations. They're not related. But my top three cornerbacks of all time.
Okay. Hey man, well, we definitely gonna have to jump into that next time we link up, man.
Okay.
But for sure, man, we gonna put a pin in that conversation for now. But hey man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and I appreciate you for joining me, Mike. Hey man, y'all stay warm out there in Colorado, man.
Will do, man. It's snowing right now as we speak. So hey, listen, I appreciate you having me on, man. We definitely got to keep this up.
All right, Chief. You take it easy, man.
All right, you too.
All right.
All right.